Hi, this is Chris from Orange Coast College's Art Department, reviewing the items that you check out when checking out an iPad Pro from the Art Department. So this is a pretty great situation for students. We've got iPad Pros, the large ones, the 13-inch, and we've got Apple Pencils, and we've got a box. So I want to go through how you unbox this, what you can throw away, what you need to keep, and how to get started. So first of all, let's start off with the iPad Pro. Some of you may have yours come in a box if it hasn't been checked out before, and others it may just come to you out of the box already in the case. So here's our 13-inch iPad Pro, the latest ones as of 2021, so pretty nice. In here is a little box. It's got some instructions and some stickers. We don't need to hang on to this. Don't worry about that. You can look at it and throw it away if you like. Underneath that is a USB-C charger. Here's the cord. Here's the charger. The one thing to note is if you've already been using iOS devices, USB-C may be new to you. It's new with these iPads. This shouldn't get mixed up with your other Lightning cables. These work with these. Keep them together. It's USB-C on both ends. So when you plug it in, this will go into the wall, and it's USB-C, not Lightning, here to charge. So it's going to go in there like that. So we want to make sure, of course, you're going to keep the iPad, but you need to be very aware of keeping the charger and the USB-C cables. So these we need. The rest of this is just an empty box. You don't need it. So I'm going to set this over here. We've got these guys. Next up is our Apple Pencil. So if you've got it like this where it's still shrink wrapped, you can take that off. They've got little handy tabs to help you get this apart. So we've got a box, and much like the other one, we've got another box with manuals and instructions, stuff like that. We don't care about these. So again, you can throw those things away. In here is your Apple Pencil. Again, another plastic covering. And we don't need this either. So what are you going to do with your Apple Pencil without a box, you say? Well, the new ones magnetically attach and charge just like that. So you just throw it on there, and the iPad will charge the pencil. Now, you might be a little scared carrying around a $1,000 item, so we want to do what we can to protect it. So we've got Otterbox Covers. So I'm going to open this guy up. Again, boxes you can throw away. In here, some instructions. You can look at this. But all you're really going to do is you're going to want to make sure you line up the camera. Make sure we've got it in the right side. We're going to squeeze this in first, slide it on down. It's a nice snug fit. And then put the open side in last. So the way this works is this is the cover for the screen. This is a little magnetic closure. It's clear on the back. These are the cameras, barcoded for the college. This is the number that you've been assigned. This is 01. You may wonder, well, what do I do with the pencil now? Well, fortunately, this flap can also have a second setting, which covers the pencil. One thing I've found, though, is if you leave the pencil on the iPad all the time, it will drain the iPad battery. So you may want to find a convenient place near your iPad, but not always stuck to it because it has drained the battery overnight. And this does a few different settings. So the one you'll probably use most is you wrap this like this, and you can get a nice tilt to the iPad. And then you can reverse it for tilting upright to watch, let's say, a program where you're not interacting with the iPad. I mean, you can still interact, but this is more for watching than using. So to get started, let's hit the power button up here on the upper right. I'm going to get this guy going. Those of you guys that have used iPhones or iPads in the past, this is all going to be pretty straightforward to you, although it does have the latest OS installed. So if you're not familiar with iPad OS 14, you might want to become familiar with it. So the main thing we're going to be using these iPads for is Procreate. That's already in the dock right here. And this is going to be our painting program. Oh, I think I might need to hook up my pencil so it recognizes it. There we go. Recognizes it, lets you know you've got an Apple Pencil. You've got some things that you can do. You can just kind of click through and explore. So this is Procreate. You can find a video on using Procreate and introducing it to you in the description below the video on this video on YouTube. But just so you know, the general premise is it's a painting program like that. Other things that you should know. You're going to check this iPad out and return it. And when you return it, we're going to reset it to factory conditions. In fact, you can do that before you return it. So that means during the duration that you have it, you can use your own Apple ID to download apps. You can use your own Google ID for Google Drive or Microsoft for OneDrive, or if you want to put Dropbox. Basically, you're going to be managing this through your logins. You won't have a login that we're requiring you to use for the iPad. It's going to be your own logins. So if you want, you can create secondary logins just for the iPad if you want. But I recommend, for instance, you use your own Google Drive login so you can share files to your normal services. So you're kind of in control. You get to drive. However, you have to be aware that when this gets returned, we are going to wipe everything out. So anything that you have on here will go away. So please be aware of that. So that means things like you can customize the home screen if you want. You can customize the dock. You can make it work the way you would like to. And it's just been preloaded with things that we think will be helpful. So a lot of shortcuts to Microsoft and Google products on here. Canvas already, stuff that's already on here, feel free to go ahead and use. And if you want to buy something and put on here, you may, but we're going to wipe it once it comes back, just so you know. So there's lots of introductory videos for iPad users that are new to it from Apple and everyone else. Please go ahead and look. And for Procreate, the same goes for that. Lots of information out there. This video is more about you checking this out from OCC. So to check it back in, you're going to reset it to factory settings. Go ahead and Google that. You're going to leave the case on it. You're going to include the pencil. You're going to include the USB-C cable, and you're going to include the charger. This is what you need to turn back in, these things. So you keep these. You can keep any of the other stuff if you want for storage or what have you, but you do not have to return the boxes and plastic wraps. All right, this is going to be a great adventure. I hope you enjoy checking out an iPad from OCC's art department and get to use it in your classes. Good luck.